Hey, what's happening, guys? What's going on YouTube? You guys have tuned into Rules for Rebels, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about a huge change that Etsy recently made to their search algorithm. So if you are a seller on Etsy, you're definitely going to watch this video. You're definitely going to want to pay attention, and this may change how you wind up doing your Etsy descriptions. And what I'm going to tell you in this video is going to give you the best chance of getting your product seen, getting your product listing seen, and showing up when a customer searches something similar to what you're selling. So first, let's talk about algorithms, right? Any website that has a search function is going to have an algorithm that runs that search function and determines what shows up when a customer or viewer or browser or visitor to that website uses that search function. Now, in the case of eBay, we have title, we have pictures, we have the description, and then you have all the item specifics. So, brand, size, weight, etc. Same goes for Amazon. In the case of YouTube, YouTube obviously also uses an algorithm. You have title, you have description, you have keywords, and then now, probably within the last year or so, eBay also introduced hashtags. Anytime a site allows you to put in, information or metadata, as we call it, you want to put in as much as possible because, pretty much every platform out there is going to look at descriptions to grab keywords or phrases and decide what to rank. That's why, when we talk about, how to get a YouTube video seen, make sure you have a description. Make sure you have a good title. In the description, kind of best practices on YouTube is to kind of write a mini blog post in the description talking about what the video is about and trying to insert certain keywords in there. And that's going to get your videos to show up when people search for those things because YouTube is looking at the description. Now, one thing that really kind of shocked me is up until recently, Etsy was not looking at descriptions. So when you put up an Etsy listing, you got a title, you got photos, you got a description, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe Etsy allows you to use up to 5 keywords as well. But what's interesting and really kind of mind-blowing is Etsy wasn't looking at your description, and they weren't taking any keywords or phrases from your description when people were searching for items. So pretty much all they were looking for was the title and the tags. And your description, in some senses, was kind of worthless. Now, it wasn't completely worthless because Google does rank Etsy listings. So there was a chance that you could show up in a Google search result. And then also, descriptions have more value than just SEO, right? Descriptions give you the opportunity to sell somebody on your product. So, we talk a lot about copywriting. I notice a lot of people are really weak with their descriptions and just put like, this is a t-shirt with a monkey, sizes small through large available. One kind of example I always give with kind of the importance of copywriting, when I go to a restaurant, there's certain buzzwords that just kind of like make my mouth water and make me hungry. So if I go to a restaurant, the menu could just say a ham sandwich, and it doesn't sound bad. A ham sandwich sounds good. Maybe I'm in the mood for a ham sandwich, but there's nothing that really draws me in. I know personally when I see words like, craft made, scratch made, buttermilk, 18-hour marinated, aged, things like that really kind of get my mouth watering. And so, you can either have a ham sandwich, or this is probably going to be a pretty, shitty example of copywriting because I'm just coming off the top of the head. But rather than just a ham sandwich, how about like brioche bun with artisan made Parmesan and, 30-day aged Spanish ham, something like that. It's a lot more mouthwatering. It draws me in a lot more than just ham sandwich. And so that's one of the purposes of your description, is to include some copywriting that's going to make somebody want to buy your product. Also telling people more about your product. For example, whenever I buy a backpack, something I often wonder is, I have a 15.6-inch laptop, right? A bigger laptop. So I often wonder, will my laptop fit in the laptop sleeve? So in a description, I'd like to see, the sleeve is X by X inches, or the sleeve will fit a 15.6-inch laptop. Maybe I'm selling graphic tees or print-on-demand printed tees on Etsy. Something I might say in that listing is, have a sizing chart. So if you're between a 32 and 36-inch chest, buy a small. If you're 34 to 38, buy a medium. If you're 38 to 42, buy a large. So it's also a place that you can tell customers about your product. And with most platforms, the description is actually an area that is factored into search. However, I was kind of shocked to learn that Etsy didn't consider descriptions in searches or in regards to how their algorithm works, but that's one change that Etsy recently made. So what you're looking at right now is a post from the Etsy community section. This is from about a week ago, and it's titled "Updates to Etsy Search: listing description. So Fido's Flowers, who's a community manager, went on to say, "Hi all, as you may know, a listings description has always been important when it comes to search engine optimization, as Google and other engines crawl entire pages for keywords and for ranking purposes. Etsy Search now considers keywords and phrases with your listings descriptions when we rank your listings. The keywords you use across your listings, titles, tags, categories, and attributes are still essential when it comes to matching you with the right buyer. So what does this mean for you? Now that Etsy Search is looking for keywords within your listing descriptions, the algorithm has even more to scan, allowing us to get your items in front of even more buyers. Some tips for writing listing descriptions: aim to incorporate relevant keywords in your first few sentences of your listing descriptions. Number 2, avoid copying your title verbatim or simply listing your top keywords. Instead, you want to craft a sentence or two that casually incorporates a few of your top keywords in a way that sounds human and written in your brand's voice. 3, continue to include important information that will help buyers best understand your product. As a reminder, you can stay up to date on Etsy Search and best practices through the Ultimate Guide to Etsy Search. So I'll go ahead and link to this page if you guys want to give it a read yourself, or maybe you want to continue on to the Ultimate Guide to Etsy Search. This was really surprising to me. This is like Etsy's kind of way behind the times in terms of not utilizing the description as part of what they rank for their search function. And here's an important thing, and this girl kind of went into this, but when I used to sell a lot on eBay, one of the things that I knew and one of the things that eBay always told us was, with your title, try to get your important or your key keywords as early on in the title as possible. And with your description, the first 100 to 180 characters of your description is most important. So what I think a lot of people will tend to do is copy their title into the first line of the description. At that point, it's duplicate text. You're not really adding anything to the listing. Another thing I see a lot of people do is they'll put some type of guidance or notification for customers as the first thing in their listing. So let's just say, for example, maybe, the t-shirts I sell on Etsy are print on demand, and maybe I've gotten a lot of complaints from customers about the shipping time. Because, with print on demand, it's normally like a 4 to 7 day delay before the item actually ships. It's not like if I actually have t-shirts in stock and you order one today and I'm going to ship it out today or ship it out tomorrow. So something I'll see a lot of people do is maybe at the top of their description, they'll put a big notification in like bold red font, like, we utilize a print-on-demand fulfillment method. Please be patient as items will not ship for 4 to 7 days. Now, people think I want this front and center at the top so somebody doesn't buy my item and is then later upset when they find out that there's going to be a 4 to 7 day shipping delay. Why you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot here, though, is that, nobody is searching in Etsy for shipping delays or print on demand or anything like that. So you're kind of wasting the most important real estate of your description. So, what you're going to want to have, maybe I'm selling a, I didn't get vaccinated t-shirt or something like that on Etsy. Maybe your title is I didn't get vaccinated tea. So for the first line, you wouldn't want it to also be I didn't get vaccinated tea. You also wouldn't want it to be something like, dear customers, please be aware we use a print-on-demand service. No, you would want to do something like, what are some other keywords that would kind of fall into that niche? So, pure blood t-shirt or, Tea Party, patriotic, sovereign citizen t-shirt, stupid example, but you guys get my point. The first sentence or two, the first 100 to 180 characters of your description is very important. And I would encourage all of you guys to learn a little bit more about how algorithms work. Obviously all algorithms are going to be different from platform to platform. Way back in the day, we're probably talking 2015, 2016, something like that. I used to be pretty active on Fiverr, and I used to have some Fiverr gigs where I would sell analytic research about eBay or Amazon, and I would use TerraPeak, and if somebody had a product they were selling on eBay, I would help them craft a better title, a better description, better photos. I would let them know, what keywords their buyers are searching for, the time of the day and day of the week when their items sell the most, things like that, so that they could give themselves the best chance of appearing in search and selling the most items. Well, I don't know if you guys remember this, but around that time, there was a big problem, and the problem still exists. But at that time, it was really getting into media about how, people are buying Amazon reviews, people are buying reviews on sites, people are buying Yelp reviews. And Fiverr ultimately wound up being sued by, I believe it was Amazon as well as like the FTC of several different states. So Fiverr really cracked down. And if your listings had the word eBay or Amazon in them, they basically did a blanket pull down because I think they just kind of assumed that you were, selling reviews or something like that, as opposed to there's nothing wrong with their, there's no violation of the terms of service of selling analytic deals, having to do with how to rank on those platforms. So anyhow, they got all my listings pulled down, as is typically the case. Their support wasn't very helpful in getting that resolved. And it was really frustrating because I'd spent a lot of time building up these reviews, and they were making me about these analytic reports, and they were making me $600 or $800 a month. So what I wound up doing, I wound up putting up a new listing, but I had to get it some traction. So I went over to Reddit, and there is a subreddit called slave labor. Now, slave labor is where you can pay people like pennies to do little tasks. If you need somebody to do a survey, if you need somebody to do a little task or test your website or something like that, you can pay people over there to do it. I also used to do the same thing when I used to sell a lot of books on Amazon KDP and a lot of ebooks and things like that. I would go over to slave labor. I would put my book on a free promotion for 5 days, and I would pay people from slave labor to download my book and then review my book. And, the way that search algorithms work, and I don't want to get too deep and turn this into too long of a video, but one of the things is kind of velocity that's important to search algorithms. So search algorithms are going to see if a ton of people are coming to this listing right after it's launched, if a ton of people are buying it in a short period of time, that kind of velocity factor is going to shoot my product up in the rankings, and they're going to wind up showing it more. Other things that affect kind of algorithms is if my Amazon item or my Etsy item are getting a lot of external traffic from Google or social media, that's also going to be a signal to Etsy or Amazon or whatever other site that, okay, a lot of people are coming to this listing. Maybe we should push it up in search and show it to more people. And then also another thing, and people used to be able to really game the system on Amazon with this, but anchor text was really important as well. So if there was a hyperlink to your product in a blog post or on some website for keywords, that would be really important. So if you were selling a suede purse, if a blog, linked to you and used the hyperlink said, or the anchor text said, the best suede purse, that would then kind of signal to Amazon when somebody searches for the best suede purse, they might want to show your listing. So, in my example of Fiverr, I wound up paying a bunch of people off slave labor to buy my Fiverr gig. So I gave them $5 to buy the gig, and then I gave them another $2 once they completed the task. And that was kind of their payment. They were willing to do this work for $2. And sure enough, I wound up getting a ton of purchases of my gig in a short period of time. I wound up getting a ton of reviews of my gig in a short period of time. And then very quickly, my gig, my Fiverr gig, my page, my, service I was offering, wound up ranking organically really quickly. And then that just kind of snowballed. And eventually that listing was right back to where it was supposed to be. But I guess kind of my point with these last two stories is kind of gain a little bit of an understanding of how the algorithm or how the search function of whatever website you're selling on or posting content on or whatever works. And by understanding that, you can kind of trick the system, game the system, or even if we don't want to look at it as tricking the system or gaming the system or doing anything shady, we can give ourselves the best chance to show up. So that's kind of all I got for you guys today. I guess kind of most important takeaway from this video, if you guys are Etsy sellers, your descriptions are now more important than ever. So, make sure the first 100 to 180 characters of your description, the first couple sentences, the first paragraph, has a bunch of keywords, isn't the same as your title. And then also, make sure to include some sales copy that makes your product more attractive or really kind of sells your product to the audience. But that's all I got for you guys today. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. Ring the bell to be notified of all of our future videos. And then also, if you guys are Etsy sellers, if you guys have any tips to share with other people watching this video, feel free to drop them below. And if you guys have any tips or insights into kind of how to game search engines, how search engines work, how algorithms work, feel free to drop those tips and tricks down as well. That's all I got for you guys. I'll catch you on the next video.